back to the drive-thru. I'm your host, Tony T. We broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel throughout social media. We're going to get you out here before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Deliver live picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time or later. And to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place will meet the cappers and get right to the picks because we don't mess around here on the drive-thru. We get right to it. Let's say hello to Tony Brown in Las Vegas. Tony, what's going on?
What's going on out there? I hope everybody's ready to win some money because I am.
That's absolutely right. Ready to look for a big weekend coming up here. Big week of action. Let's say hello to Alex Smart. Alex, what's going on?
Everything's good. We're going to follow Las Vegas Tony.
That's exactly right. Let's do that. Let's follow Las Vegas Tony to the pay window. Let's get underway here. NFL. We've got a lot of NFL this week as we have 14 games still on the board. We got the single game. The game everyone forgot about. This game got the least amount of talk of any game, I think, this week because we had the Amazon games action on Saturday, but no one really seemed to talk a whole lot about the Seattle game against the Chicago Bears scheduled here tonight, 8:15 Eastern Time. The line looks like this. The Seahawks, 4.5. Total says 41.5. We know the Bears have been eliminated from the playoffs. Seahawks still have hopes here there to get in the playoffs, so let's get this one underway here as we get started with Alex.
I look at this game, lay money on, a consistent team like the Seahawks on the road. Not just lay money, lay some more than a football here. It feel right. Even feels right that they're the two of the most motivated tonight. So, the line's crooked. It's in the right place. I think the Seahawks are a better team than the Bears overall. Consistency, just so many question marks up. So if someone will put a gun to my head, let's take the crook a little bit and let's take Hawks. But hey, I wouldn't lay any farmland.
All right, there from Alex. Maybe sign in again. You're doing that clipping is coming in out if you can. All right, let's get on. Yeah, it's just a rollback connection. Let's go on over to Tony Brown next up.
Yeah, I got a 10-star premium pick on this game, so I'll give you a free pick on the total. I like the over in this one. Like you said, the Bears, they don't have anything to play for. They're 0-9, so I think they try new tricks. I think they air the ball out. Just work on stuff for next season. Just work on stuff they need to see, and I think they're going to give it their all still. Plus, when a team has nothing to play for, far as we just say that, far as they not playing for a playoff spot, they always play for pride. They're grown men. They make millions of dollars, and they would love nothing more than to spoil a spot for Seattle. Seattle needs to win this game. They're in a tight race with Arizona and now the Rams for the division title over there, trying to get a playoff spot and stuff. So I just think both of these teams are going to leave it all out on the field, and I think Seattle already a heavy passing attack team. We see a lot of airing it out, and I think the scores come early and often, and I'll take over 41.5 for the free play.
All right, Tony Brown. Yeah, this looks like Seattle, the way the playoffs look, Seattle can only be a division champion. Arizona was eliminated last week with that loss to Carolina. So it's just Rams and Seattle going for the NFC West. Big game here for Seattle. Of course, the eliminated team, Chicago there. We've seen it in this playoffs down the stretch here. There's been some exceptions, and we've seen the Cowboys play a little well, but for the most part, Tony Brown, the live teams have been getting the job done against the dead teams.
Yeah, we've seen the favorites cover both this weekend. Baltimore and KC both got it done or whatever. And usually these teams do. No one wants to back into the playoffs. So I think that's a older tradition where, once you clinch or if you got certain things locked, you kind of take time off or whatever. I think that's an old school thing because now it's about who's hot right now. So I don't think no one wants to back into the playoffs. I think we get our all from everybody, and especially with Seattle needing to get in there.
I think that goes back to the Giants when they knocked out the Patriots because the Giants had a meaningless game and they played all their players and they won. They said, "Hey, that helped. That cut us in the right mode. You don't coach to lose." That's an old John Madden Raiders saying back in the day.
Right, we literally just seen it with the Raiders. They had the number 1 draft pick in hand, and they still took care of Jacksonville and went dropped all the way to number 6. Like no one goes out to practice every day, goes on the field and just be like, okay, we're going to lose. Tanking, I think that's more of a media thing or more of a psychological thing. These are all professionals. They make millions of dollars, and they try to play to win every time.
Yep, that's what they're trying to do here. So that's from Tony. Tell you what I think about these games here. On this one, I'm gonna be looking here at the under. We'll be going butting heads with Tony Brown here today. I just think the short week here really hurts the Bears offense. I don't understand why you fire head coaches when you have first-year quarterbacks. I mean, it's just a disaster. We're seeing it here with the Bears. Caleb Williams, you're going to screw up his development when you do that. We saw some issues there with the Jets as well. It's just a total mess when you let go. I now understand why Jerry Jones has always been hesitant to fire coaches in season. He was the one that would say, "Oh, you can't do that," and I'm starting to see it too. Things just get worse, and especially when you have a first-year quarterback, man. I mean, I don't care how bad the coach has to be fired. You can't let him go when you're trying to develop a guy like this. It's just just a bad scenario. And again, to me, this is an under based on the Bears offense. I don't really have a lot of confidence in this Bears offense really doing much. Seahawks defense looked really good, and then they faced Green Bay and Minnesota, right? So now that's a huge step down in class for that Seattle defense. Matter of fact, the Seattle defense is the healthiest of the two units. The Bears offense is the most injured of the two units, so I just think the Bears are going to have trouble scoring. Now we've seen some weather change. It's Chicago. The weather's going to change. Now we have a 40% chance of rain, and we have a light wind here. 44 degrees. There's not going to be any snow. It's not cold enough to be snow, but we could have a wet football out there tonight here in Chicago. Who knows? Maybe it can get cold enough to snow. We never know. It's got to get another 13 degrees colder to get the snow over there, but that's the way it looks right now. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. As we move on over to the bowls for tonight, we got Arkansas State and Bowling Green going head-to-head here in the bowl game. We'll get the odds up here, the odds screen for you right now, so we can take a look at it here. Arkansas State and Bowling Green in the bowl. We see Bowling Green jump up to 10 in this game. Total 53.5. Let's get this one underway here with Alex.
Am I still cutting in and out?
No, you're all right. You're all right. You're good now.
I was looking at the total and around and the lines moving around. Red Wolves owning the worst speed in the South allowed. And 32 points per game, and that was 460 yards per game. I look at this game as an option for them to put a lot of points to against a team that's all, I say, defensively deficient. And so we're looking for Red Wolves defense pretty bad. Taker, 2,000 yards and touchdowns, the running back sacks. I mean, there's going to be some damage here. That's what I look at. They're going to against points and I just look at this being an over game, over game.
All right, like I say, you're starting to have that cutout again, Alex. Try to see if we can get that Wi-Fi work because you just started to cut off right here halfway down. All right, we got there from Alex. Next up, we move on over to Tony.
Yeah, this was a no play for me. Just midweek bowl game. Two schools I really haven't followed. I looked at the couple stats on the game, but nothing really to give me a cap on that one. So I'm going to just watch this one as a fan, possibly.
Watch it as a fan. All right. Tell you what I think here about these games. We got to jump ahead of myself. Here we go. I'm going to go with the over here. I kind of agree with Alex in this one. You've got experienced quarterbacks here. Connor Bazelak, 4-year starting quarterback, 2 years here, his last 2 seasons here. With Bowling Green. Then prior to that, he was starting quarterback at Missouri and also Indiana. So he does have experience on a quarterback. Jalen Rayner, 2 years experience as well for the Red Wolves. And this Arkansas State defense has just been really bad this year. I mean, especially in their road games. Arkansas State is expected to have their starters available to play. Bowling Green's transfers are going to play. And, when you see these teams from the smaller conference, when they hit the portal, usually they're going to have to play if they're going to want to get money, or they're going to have to, find a team to land on, because these mid-major teams really have not faced really tough competition. So for the most part, these transfers in these small conferences, they better play if they're going to want to find a landing spot in the transfer portal. So I look for the number to go over the total here, as we talked about. This Red Wolves defense away from home can't stop the run. Teams run for almost 6 yards to carry on them. They throw for 257 yards. And the offense has put up some numbers. Again, we got 2 experienced quarterbacks here, so I like the over in this one. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we'll turn our attention over this NBA card for tonight. 9-game card here from the NBA, so let's switch on over. And I just got a note here on the, if you take the look here at the chat, we have somebody in Chicago saying that it's pouring right now in Chicago. So We're still about an hour and a half, almost about an hour and 40 minutes from kickoff there. So news already in Chicago that's pouring over there. So we may see that rain. That's why we saw that total come down to 41.5. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get to the NBA here. As we'll start here with this series of games. We'll go three per block. And we'll start here with the Hornets and Wizards. We got the Hornets here favored 4.5 on the road, total 228.5. And next up, we've got the Heat and Magic here. Magic 1, total 208.5. News on this game we'll get to in a second here. Thunder and Pacers. Thunder 5, total sits here 227. Let me just look at the injury report here, and we'll see that Caruso and Holmgren are out for OKC. Nesmith here out for Indiana. The Heat, well, Richardson out. Butler will be out of this game. No Butler. And Pat Riley just went on record saying he's not going to trade Butler. So just to end that. Boncaro, Harris, Wagner out for Orlando. In that Charlotte game, we've got Mann out. So we got Ball and Miller in the lineup together. So the two scorers are in here. Washington is Bagley, Bay, and Kuzma out there. So let's see if we get Hope connections better here with Alex. Over to Alex.
Okay, just in case we have a bad connection, look at that Charlotte. You know what? Don't like the late points with a team like Charlotte. Got to tonight. From a trend situation across the NBA, a lot of teams that have lost 4 games or more. Been amazing money role players making the money for us. 39 ATS. That's a 78% conversion ATS slash 3 times 43. I can add minus 4.5 points.
There you go. Their favorite from Alex. All right, let's move on over to Tony Brown.
Yeah, I would agree with Alex in that game right there. Washington's the worst team in the league, and it's for a reason. I mean, even with Kyle Kuzma, who's their best player, they were still struggling, and now he's out, so I expect an easy win over there. The Pacers game, that's one of them ones, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 5-0 against the spread, 5-0 and straight up in their last 5 games. They're rolling right now. So we're going to take the Pacers with the points. And what was the other game?
The other game we had was Heat Magic.
Oh, the Magic. Yeah, that one's a tricky game. Magic are a real good home team, but they're missing Banchero and Wagner. So anytime they do anything good, they're overachieving. Those are their 2 best players, their star players, their leading scorers. That'd be like missing Kobe and Shaq. So I don't know how Orlando's been, holding on without their 2 stars, but they kind of have. I really like Miami in this game, but not just because Jimmy Butler's missing. The turmoil in the locker room could be messed up. He's demanding the trade and things like that. So, it's really hard to pick out of these teams. But even with Jimmy Butler missing, I still think Tyler Hero and the Magic have a whole better squad. Adam Badayo, they got the coach that won a championship before in Spoelstra. So I just think the Magic will be able to get through their problems better than, the Heat will be able to get through their problems better than Orlando will get through these injuries. And I'll take Miami with the 1 point.
There from Tony Brown. Say what I think about these games here. Yeah, I'm going to also look at the Pacers here. The Pacers, I know OKC are a really good defensive team, but they do have their issues shooting the basketball. And right now, the Pacers are playing elite-style ball right now, both on both ends, not just offense, but on defense. The Pacers have covered 5 straight, as Tony said. I'll take the points here plus the 5. I'm going to leave that Charlotte and Washington Wizards game alone now that they have their scores in the lineup. Just going to stay away there. Heat and Magic here. I'm going to butt heads again with Tony. I'm going to go ahead and take Orlando. The Heat has failed to cover 4 of 5. The Magic have covered 12 of 14 at home. Really, Jalen Suggs puts up the points. Tristan Da Silva is coming in there getting points and rebounds. This team is pretty deep. They've been used to playing with guys that have been injured before, so they're getting it done at home. So I'm not going to buck that trend with Orlando at home. Covering 12 of 14, I'll take Orlando in this spot. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. As we continue here with the next series of games, they will be Bulls and Hawks. The Hawks 6.5, total 242.5. Raptors and Grizzlies. Grizzlies up to 11.5, total 240. Rockets and Pelicans here. Pelicans dogs here. Rockets 7.5 on the road, total 221.5. Let's see what the injury report says in these games here. In these, we've got on the Bulls side Ball. We got Dosunmu, Giddey out for Chicago. On the Atlanta side, Okongwu and Zeller out. Trae Young, Bogdanovich questionable. Let me click what they say about Trae Young here. Young is questionable here. Right heel contusions that heel again. Could be Achilles issues as well. The past month was soreness, so he's going to be a game time decision. So keep an eye there. This game is about an hour away right now. The Houston game, we got Brooks out. Terry Easton, who's also a bench guy who contributes, he's questionable. Of course, the Pelicans side, it's always that long list here. Alvarado, Ingram, Metkovic, Zion out. Although Zion should be hitting practice pretty soon here, if I'm heard. Murphy, Green, questionable. So those are key components there as well on the report. So there you are caught up. We are caught up there. So let's get this segment underway here with Alex.
Yeah, I'm going to Memphis game, man. Just sucking it out. But because of that line that we can deal with here, I think they can be competitive enough against Memphis. Memphis be wide awake for this game. It's interesting to note the road teams are on runs of 8 straight ATS overall in this, and 11-2-1 the last 14 overall. You know what? I'm going to take the road dog. Plug your nose. Just look and just.
There from Alex. All right, next up we move on over to Tony Brown.
Yeah, the number one thing I like in that one is the over in that Pelicans game. Like you said, Zion's still a little bit away from being back in the lineup. He's their main protector on defense, rim defender, all that good stuff. So I don't think we're going to see a lot of defense in this one. I think we see buckets early and often from both sides, and 221 just to get there won't be a chore. So I like the over in that as a free play.
Yeah, from Tony Brown. I'll tell you what I think about these here. I'm going to look here at, the Bulls and Hawks just going to take the points with Chicago. The Bulls have actually improved their defense. Atlanta has been a terrible favorite at home, not this year, not last year, but this year as well. Failing to cover 10 of 15 at home. And only shooting 46% over their past 5 games. Of course, Trae Young still questions regarding whether or not he'll play with that issue with his heel and his Achilles. So there's 2 issues he's dealing with there. Memphis and Toronto, look for the over. I know it's 240. It's gone up, but man, this Memphis team, they play at the 3rd fastest pace at home. Toronto can shoot. They can put up points on the road. They just can't defend. They're a poor defensive team. And looking at the Raptors over their past 5 games, hitting 48%. They've been a gritty team. They've been a competitive team, and I look for a lot of points in this one. I like the over in this one. Rockets and Pelicans, I'm going to go Rockets games under. Rockets, they're one of those teams that get by really with defense, rebounding, hustle. Although they are going to miss Dylan Brooks here. That's the one concern. But this New Orleans team really struggling shooting the basketball right now. Over their past 5, just over 43%. And the Rockets not very well here, 45% shooting, under 30% from 3, yet they post W's because they got to hustle, they got to defend. And I think they're all trained to do that, or else they wouldn't get any minutes from this head coach, wouldn't get any minutes on the court. So that's how I look at this one. Bucks there is, we'll get in a second here. We got you through the games here for this block, so let's continue here on the drive-through as we get ready to knock out the final 3 from the NBA card for tonight. And they will be here. The Nets and Bucks. The Bucks 7.5, total 206. Jazz and Trailblazers. This is your NBA TV game. Trailblazers 3, total 225.5. We close out with the Pistons and those poor Sacramento Kings. Oh boy, what's going on over there? Pistons here are the dogs. Kings 5.5, the total 227. Let's take a look at this injury report. Let's see what's going on here. Nets and the Bucks here. Bogdanovich, Cam Thomas, and Watford and Williams out. Simmons will be questionable. On the Bucks side, Livingston out, Johnson out. Giannis will be out of this game. No Giannis tonight for Milwaukee. Lillard questionable. Middleton probable. So there you go with the Nets and Bucks. Utah and Portland, no Clarkson, no Collins, no George. Who's going to score? Well, Sexton's still out there, but I think he needs. Oh, Markin is there too. All right, so Clarkson, Collins, George out for Utah. On the Portland side, no Thibault, no Williams. Williams and Banton are questionable. On the Pistons side, Holland and Stewart questionable. Stewart the rebounder. Duran here, the center as well. Their bigs are a little banged up, but Duran is probable in this game. Sabonis the rebounder, is questionable for Sacramento. So there you go, caught up here with the injuries. Let's get this segment underway here with Alex.
Yeah, it's worse than the transfer portal. I mean, you're dealing with injuries all through the NBA. I mean, it's just riddled everywhere. You have to be wide awake when you're completely wide awake when you're handicapped NBA basketball now. You have to take into consideration on a consistent basis. I used to be able to put lines up overnight and pretty well, or not just lines overnight, but put up selections overnight, take 4-hour pauses and throw money out there and feel confident that my money. Now, anything's possible. That's why when I put selections out, I put them out just before, well, not just before, but probably 7 to 10 hours. Anyway, big long speech. I'm just going to say one thing about Utah. You know what? Not a great team. They're from a trends perspective, though, they do have something going for them, and they have cashed 23 of their last third straight road games. So something about their tenacity and their will to play, even when they're banged up like in a third straight road game. That's recent. So we're going to go Utah plus the points versus Portland.
There from Alex. All right, next up we move on over to Tony Brown.
Yeah, I got premium picks in the NBA tonight, so I'm going to pass on a free play on those tonight.
There from Tony. I tell you what I think here about these games here. I'm going to stay away from the Milwaukee game with Nets without Giannis. I think that's I'm not going to stay away from that one. Pistons. I'm going to take the Pistons plus the points here. Kings have failed to cover 5 straight. Again, it's the defense. It's been the defense for years with his Kings teams at home. Over their past 5 games, I'm 49% shooting, and they're struggling shooting the basketball. The Kings are them as well. Utah, Portland. Just on this one, I'll just take Utah because of the better shooting team. Both teams poor defensively. Portland can't shoot, but at least Utah has better shooters on their team. So that's how I look at that one. Utah in that spot. All right. You got something, Tony?
Oh, no, I was just agreeing with you, basically.
Oh, I gotcha. All right.
That was good, Tony. That was a good analysis.
All right, we got you through the NBA card. No hockey, no college hoops. So wait till tomorrow when all the teams get back from their Christmas breaks. Of course, I don't think college, they don't like to travel on Christmas Day. I understand that, so it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. Who wants to be on the airport on the 26th? Nobody. All right, so on the 25th, I should say. All right, we got you covered here from the sports. Let's get the parlays here from the Cappers. Parlays are a peripheral segment here where the Cappers can give out a parlay, or they can give out a peripheral, or a bowl game, or an NFL game, a game in the future. So in this segment, let's get this one underway here with Alex.
Let us go with Arkansas State Green over. I don't care, up to 55. To me, that doesn't matter where it goes here tonight. And let's go with Noah Fant, Seahawks, over 32.5 receiving yards. Noah Fant, over 32.5 receiving yards.
There from Alex. Next up, we move on over to Tony.
Yeah, I'm going to just keep it simple. I like the Seahawks first half money line, and I like the Memphis Grizzlies first half money line in a 2-team mixed sports parlay. 2 favorites. Just get it done. I don't think they're going to cut any slack to these guys tonight. I think they get it done all game. You cut it down on the money line in the first half, you get way better value than taking those full money lines, as they both are favorites, and you get more than double your money. So money line first half on both of those, and bet it big.
There from Tony Brown, or I'll give you my parlay for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and take the Pacers plus the points. I like the under in the Rockets Pelicans, and I'll take the Pistons plus the points there. All right, we got you through that segment. Let's see what the Cappers have for sale over at Pick Dog Stream. And into a big weekend of action. We still have 14 games to go on the NFL. Keep an eye on the schedule because we have 3 on Saturday, plenty on Sunday, and 1 tonight, as well as the college bowls. Bowls pick up tomorrow with the high volume of games tomorrow. I think we got 5 bowl games, and Saturday into a huge slate of games from the bowls. And of course, the playoffs will be here on the 31st, the next round. Of course, we've got NBA and college hoops coming. NHL coming with a big card again tomorrow on the weekend. So let's see what Tony Brown has for sale over at Pick Dog Stream. Tony, have a good college football year this year. What do you got for sale?
Yeah, tonight we got the Thursday 3 play. That's my best play on the board from all 3 leagues. That's the NFL, NFL and NBA. It's 3 plays from 2 leagues. You get my top 3 plays from both leagues. And like always, you can get the 3, 7, 30-day or full VIP year pass. When you get those passes, you don't got to pay per day, per play, or per sport. It's everything I release from every sport, no upselling. You get playoffs and championship picks for whatever amount of time you choose. And you only pay one time. We're not here to get your money. We're here to get the bookies.
Absolutely, guys. Got to go with Tony Brown over at Pick Dog Stream. Long-term passes are your best value. Use that promo code PICK to save that 15%. Let's see what Alex has for sale over at Pick Dog Stream. Alex having a great 2024.
Yeah, we're gonna have 3 college football bowl games tomorrow. That Oklahoma Navy game started us off, and a couple more as the day goes on. And we're gonna have a bunch of stuff here this weekend. Lots of college football action, lots of opportunities to make NBA, of course. And the best part of it all is college basketball. Usually, the hottest part of my campaign always comes in the second half. We start doing conference play. 2.5, long-term packages, best way to go. Save a pile of money, playing long-term packages. Pick me, pick Tony, pick the two Tony, and pick us all, and let's make some money.
That's right, guys. Got on board with Alex over at Pick Dogs. I got a best bet on the board right now from the NFL. I am the number 1 unit producer in the NFL this year over at Pick Dogs. So got on board with my best bet. Also have a mixed 3-pack with actually no mixed sport. It's an NBA 3-pack on the board right now. So get on board. We got 4 premiums up there. Or better, you get my long-term pass. That 7-day pass got you covered for the rest of the NFL now into Monday night. And of course, they'll include my bowl picks as well as NBA and college hoops. So get on board. Remember, the promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off. Multi-capper promotions as well. You can match me up with Tony Brown and Alex in a multi-pack. And that's great value there over at Pick Dogs. Being promo code PICK, save that 15% off. Get on board. All right, just some updates in the NFL. Looks like Anthony Richardson missed practice again, as well as did Jalen Hurts from Philadelphia, still in concussion protocol. So keep an eye on those guys there as we head into a big week in the NFL. As we're just 2 more weeks left in this NFL season. And know the playoff scenarios, know the healthy players, know the injured players. Keep an eye there. All right, that's going to do it here for this edition of the Drive-Thru. We're back again here tomorrow, so make sure you guys tune in here live here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and get those picks. All right, before we roll out here, anybody have anything in closing before we go?
Yep. Stay safe, shop for your best lines, and aim to spend lots of money in the new year.
That's right. Let's say aim for a huge end of the year and new year as well. All right, that's going to do it here on the Drive-Thru. Looks like Tony Brown's screen shopping right now as we speak. Let's go ahead and say goodbye to you guys. You guys making a winning night, and we'll catch up with